like you're getting stuck in your Chinese language learning journey? Believe me, I understand. Chinese is not a snap to learn, but I'm here to help. There are probably 5 reasons why your Chinese isn't getting better, and today I'll be showing you what those are and how to get over them. So stick with me to the end. And the first reason your Chinese isn't getting better is because you're not being consistent. Look, I get it. Netflix is too seductive, and boy, you can scroll around on YouTube for hours without even realizing it. But consistency is key. Make sure to reserve a set time most days to practice your Chinese in one way or another, or you just won't find yourself improving. There are lots of times in life where you have to be consistent. You gotta eat 3 meals a day. You've got to brush your teeth every day. So just make Chinese part of that. One trick that I use to help with consistency is to designate one room in your house as a Chinese-only room. Whenever you're in that room, for however long you are there, you have to speak Chinese. If you can't think of the word, you have to use Chinese to describe it. If you really can't think of it, you have to leave the room and then come back in. But in addition to the room, set yourself a goal of speaking, reading, writing, or practicing Chinese for at least 30 minutes a day on most days of the week, even if it's just talking to your pet fish. And the second reason your Chinese is not improving is that you're not working on your weak points. We humans like to do things that feel good. So if you're good at speaking, you'll do more speaking, but you need to work on your reading. And then there are some of you who will be very good at reading, very good at grammar, but the moment you look at a menu, you freeze up and can't say a word. You need to work on your weak points, even though it feels uncomfortable, and make sure everything is improving at an even pace. It's just like lifting weights. Imagine if you only did curls with your right arm. You'd end up with a big bicep on the right arm and a noodle for your left arm. No one would think of doing that. So balance is key as you practice your Chinese. The third reason your Chinese isn't improving is that you're not taking in enough content. We're in the 21st century. We can get content anytime we want. Now, you've watched every episode of Friends. Why not switch it up a bit and watch at least some Chinese content? It's all out there. You've got YouTube, you've got TikTok challenges, you've got podcasts, you've got dramas. There's a lot you can take in, and there's a lot of ways to practice in an effortless and fun way. And there are subtitles there you can actually use to help improve your Chinese. The writing helps reinforce the speaking and listening. And don't tell me you have trouble with subtitles if you've watched 5 seasons of a K-drama. Consistency is key here. One easy rule of thumb is to take 50% of your leisure watching time and make sure it's in Chinese. The fourth reason you might not be improving in Chinese is that you're afraid to speak. Speaking is a super important part of learning any language, and especially with Chinese. Now, I understand being nervous about making mistakes or making a fool out of yourself, but one great thing about Chinese is that generally when you try speaking with a native Chinese speaker, they're extremely happy that you're even giving it a try, and they're very encouraging and they're very forgiving. Go ahead and practice with friends and colleagues, anyone that you think could even speak a bit of Chinese. You're going to make mistakes, and that's great because making mistakes is how we learn. Practicing speaking is so important. It may be scary at first, but you'll get used to it. It's a little bit like eating spicy food. You might be terrified at first, but after a little while, you wonder why you hadn't started earlier. Try to speak every chance you get. Go ahead and make mistakes and don't worry about it. You're going to improve faster if you practice your speaking. And the fifth reason why you're probably not improving in Chinese at least as fast as you'd like is because you're still trying to translate from English into Chinese instead of thinking directly in Chinese. Listen, you're not Google Translate. You're not expected to come up with a perfect translation of your thoughts right away. Well, how do you get started with this, though? The way I recommend is first take a pattern that you've learned in Chinese and make subtle substitutions. Maybe substitute a verb or a noun or slightly change some other aspect of the sentence. But do that directly, understanding the meaning as you speak it without trying to think of how that translates into English or how you would translate something from English into a similar sentence. The problem with translating English into Chinese is that it often results in weird-sounding sentences, English-Chinese sentences that don't make sense. You actually probably could fit a square peg in a round hole, but it would take a lot of hammering and sawing, so why do that? Stop trying to translate from English into Chinese and start thinking directly in Chinese. Your brain will make the connections much quicker and you'll sound a lot more natural when you speak Chinese. So there you have it. Those are 5 reasons your Chinese probably isn't improving. But if you work on them, I'm sure you'll improve at a much faster rate. But I'm curious, are there other things that you do that help you to speed up your Chinese learning? Let's help each other and leave it in the comments. And if you thought this video gave you value, don't forget to like and subscribe. It encourages me to make more of this content. We can all help each other. 我们一起加油，下次见，拜拜。